Do you ever wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, and wonder where all your energy went? Maybe you feel a little stiffer than you used to, or perhaps you are noticing that your body just doesn't to bounce back the way it did a decade ago. It's not just you. It's a quiet question so many of us over 60 ask ourselves, am I doing something wrong, or is this just what aging feels like? I'm here to tell you that the answer isn't what you might think. And the good news is, there's still so much you can do to feel vibrant, strong, and full of life. Even better, it starts with something as simple as a 15-minute walk each day and a few key choices about what you put on your plate. Before we dive in, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let me know your age and where you're watching from. My team and I are reading every single comment, and we're excited to connect with you. Your story matters, and we're here to listen. Hello, I'm Dr. Hayato Shimizu, a physician who spent over 20 years working with older adults. I've walked alongside thousands of patients, helping them navigate the challenges and joys of aging. But what keeps me up at night is seeing people slowly lose their vitality, believing they're doing everything right. It breaks my heart, because so much of what we accept as normal aging isn't inevitable at all. It's often tied to small, everyday choices, especially around food, that are silently speeding up the clock on our bodies. Today, I'm going to walk you through a journey of discovery, one that's grounded in science, inspired by real stories, and filled with hope. Because here's the truth, you're not too old to change. You're just learning what really works for your body after 60. Let's start with a story. I had a patient named Margaret, a 67-year-old retired teacher with a laugh that could light up a room. She came to me because she was tired all the time. She'd say, Dr. Shimizu, I eat healthy, I have my oatmeal every morning, a sandwich for lunch, and I cook dinner at home most nights. Why do I feel like I'm dragging myself through the day? Margaret wasn't alone. I hear this from so many people who are trying their best but still feel like their bodies are working against them. And here I say what I told her. The foods we have been told are healthy for decades might actually be quietly harming us, especially as we age. Take something as simple as that bowl of oatmeal Margaret loved. It's a breakfast staple, right? We've all heard it's good for your heart, full of fiber, and keeps you full. But what most people don't know is that even whole grains like oats can cause trouble for some of us after 60. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to spikes in blood sugar. A bowl of oatmeal, especially if it's paired with a banana or a drizzle of honey, can send your blood sugar soaring, only to crash a few hours later. That crash? It's why Margaret felt like she needed a nap by 10 a.m. A 2021 study from the University of California showed that frequent blood sugar spikes can increase inflammation in the body, which is like pouring fuel on the fire of aging. Inflammation is linked to everything from joint pain to heart disease to memory problems, and it's exactly this kind of hidden danger that we need to understand. Now, I'm not saying you need to throw out your oatmeal or overhaul your entire pantry. It's not about cutting everything you love. It's about understanding what your body needs now at this stage of life. When we're younger, our bodies are more forgiving. You could eat a big bowl of pasta or a sugary dessert and feel fine the next day. But after 60, your metabolism slows, your cells repair themselves more slowly, and your body is less efficient at handling certain foods. That's not a flaw, it's just a fact. And the beautiful thing is, once you know this, you can make small changes that make a massive difference. Let's talk about another patient, Robert, who was 72 when he first came to me. Robert was a former marathon runner, still active, but he was starting to notice aches in his knees and a foggy mind that worried him. He told me, Doc, I've been eating the same way for years. Lots of whole wheat bread, low-fat yogurt, and fruit smoothies. I thought I was doing everything right. Robert's story is so common. He was following the advice we've all heard for years. Eat low-fat, load up on whole grains, and keep sugar in moderation. But what he didn't realize was that those healthy choices were contributing to his inflammation and fatigue. Here's where the science gets eye-opening. A 2022 study from Harvard Medical School found that diets high in refined carbohydrates, like the bread and pasta Robert loved, can increase levels of C-reactive protein, a marker of inflammation in the body. Over time, this inflammation doesn't just cause aches and pains. It can quietly damage your blood vessels, stress your heart, and even affect your brain. And it's not just about refined carbs. Even whole grains, when eaten in large amounts, can trigger this response in some people, especially if your body is already dealing with the changes that come with aging. But here is the exciting part. Robert didn't yet need to give up everything he loved. We made a few simple swaps. Instead of starting his day with a slice of whole wheat toast and jam, he switched to a protein-packed breakfast with eggs and some avocado. Instead of a smoothie loaded with fruit, He added more greens and healthy fats, like a handful of nuts. Within weeks, he was telling me, "Dr. Shimizu, I feel like I'm 50 again." His knee pain eased, his energy was back, and he even noticed his memory felt sharper. Small changes, big results. What I want you to take away from Robert and Margaret S. stories is this: the foods you eat every day are either helping you thrive or silently holding you back. And the good news? You have the power to choose. You don't need to be a nutritionist or spend hours in the kitchen. You just need to know a few key things about how your body works now and how certain foods can either fuel you or drain you. Let's talk about one of the biggest culprits, sugar. I know you've heard it before. Sugar is bad, right? But what most people don't realize is that sugar hides in places you never expect. That healthy granola bar you grab for a snack? It can have as much sugar as a candy bar. That low-fat yogurt you've been eating for years? It is often packed with added sugars to make up for the flavor lost when the fat is removed. A 2023 study from the Mayo Clinic found that excessive sugar intake, even from so-called healthy sources, is linked to faster cognitive decline in people over 60. And it's not just your brain. Sugar feeds inflammation, which can make your joints ache, your skin look older, and your energy tank. But here's where it gets hopeful. You don't need to live a life without sweetness. It's about choosing smarter. For example, instead of reaching for that yogurt, try plain Greek yogurt with a handful of fresh berries and a sprinkle of nuts. It's just as satisfying, but it keeps your blood sugar steady and your body happy. And when you pair that with something as simple as a 15-minute walk each day, you're not just preventing problems, you're actively rebuilding your vitality. Speaking of walking, let's talk about why those 15 minutes matter so much. You don't need to run marathons or lift heavy weights. A 2020 study from the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity found that just 15 minutes of brisk walking daily can reduce the risk of heart disease by 20% and improve mood and mental clarity. When you walk, your body releases anti-inflammatory compounds that counteract the damage from poor food choices. It's like giving your body a daily dose of medicine, no prescription needed. And when you combine that with the right foods, you're setting yourself up to feel stronger, sharper, and more alive than you have in years. So where do we go from here? We've started to uncover the hidden ways that everyday foods can speed up aging, zap your energy, and increase inflammation. But there's so much more to this journey. In the next part, we'll dive deeper into specific foods that might be sabotaging your health, and the simple swaps that can transform how you feel. You're not just watching a video, you're taking the first step toward a healthier, more vibrant you. Stay with me, because this is where it gets really exciting. Welcome back to our journey together. If you're still here, you're already showing that you care about your health and your future, and that's something to celebrate. We've been talking about how the foods we eat every day, even the ones we think are healthy, can quietly work against us as we age. They can sap our energy, fuel inflammation, and even speed up the aging process. But the flip side is just as powerful. With a few simple, intentional choices, you can turn that around. You can feel stronger, sharper, and more alive than you have in years. Let's keep going, because what I am about to share might surprise you and change the way you think about your daily meals. Picture this. You're sitting down to lunch, maybe a sandwich with whole wheat bread, some deli meat, and a side of fruit. It feels like a solid choice, something you've done for years. But what most people don't know is that this healthy lunch could be setting you up for an afternoon slump and even contributing to long-term health issues. Let's break it down together, not to scare you, but to empower you with knowledge that can make a real difference. I had a patient named Susan, a vibrant 64-year-old who loved her daily routine of a turkey sandwich and an apple for lunch. She came to me because she was struggling with joint pain and a foggy mind that made her feel like she was losing her edge. She said, "Dr. Shimizu, I'm eating light, I'm staying active, but I feel like my body's betraying me." After looking at her diet, I noticed something. Her meals were heavy on processed carbohydrates and hidden sugars. That whole wheat bread? It's often not as wholesome as we're led to believe. Many store-bought breads are packed with additives and preservatives that can irritate your gut and spike your blood sugar. And the deli meat? It's convenient, sure, but it's often loaded with sodium and nitrates, which can increase inflammation and put extra strain on your heart. Here's where the science comes in. A 2022 study from the National Institutes of Health found that diets high in processed foods, even ones labeled as healthy, can increase the risk of chronic inflammation by up to 30% in older adults. Inflammation is like a low-grade fire burning in your body. Over time, it can damage your joints, your blood vessels, and even your brain. And it's exactly this kind of hidden danger that sneaks up on us, because we don't feel it until it's already done damage. But here was the good news. Susan didn't need to give up her love for a quick, satisfying lunch. We just made some smarter choices. Instead of processed deli meat, she switched to grilled chicken or canned wild-caught salmon, both rich in protein and healthy fats that support muscle health and brain function. Instead of bread, she tried wrapping her sandwich in a large lettuce leaf or pairing it with a side of roasted vegetables. Within a month, Susan told me her joint pain was noticeably better and she felt more focused at work. She even started taking short walks after lunch, which helped her feel energized instead of sluggish. Small changes, big impact. Let us talk about another food that is often seen as a health hero: fruit juice. You have probably heard that a glass of orange juice is a great way to get your vitamin C. But what most people don't realize is that fruit juice, even the 100% pure kind, is essentially a glass of liquid sugar. When you strip away the fiber from whole fruit, you're left with something that hits your bloodstream fast, causing those blood sugar spikes we talked about earlier. A 2023 study from Johns Hopkins University showed that regular consumption of fruit juice is linked to higher risks of type 2 diabetes and weight gain, especially in older adults. And those spikes don't just affect your energy, they can also stress your pancreas and contribute to insulin resistance over time. Does that mean you should never drink juice? Not at all. It's about understanding what your body needs now. Instead of a glass of juice, try eating the whole fruit. An orange or a handful of berries gives you the same vitamins with the added benefit of fiber, which slows down sugar absorption and keeps your gut happy. Or better yet, pair that fruit with a handful of nuts or a slice of cheese to balance it out. It's not about deprivation, it's about making choices that work with your body, not against it. Now, let's dive into something that might surprise you: vegetable oils. You've probably been told that oils like canola, soybean, or corn oil are heart healthy because they're low in saturated fat. But here's where things get tricky. These oils are highly processed and rich in omega-6 fatty acids, which can tip the balance in your body toward inflammation. A 2021 study from the Cleveland Clinic found that diets high in omega-6 fats, like those found in many processed foods and cooking oils, can increase markers of inflammation by up to 25% in older adults. And inflammation, as we've seen, is a major driver of aging, from creaky joints to heart issues to memory challenges. So what's the alternative? Oils like extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil are rich in omega-3 fats and antioxidants, which actually fight inflammation and support your heart and brain. I had a patient, James, who was 68 and loved frying his morning eggs in vegetable oil. He was dealing with high cholesterol and constant fatigue. When we switched him to olive oil and added more whole foods like nuts and fatty fish to his diet, his cholesterol levels improved, and he told me he felt like he had more spark in his day. It is amazing how something as simple as changing the oil you cook with can make such a difference. And here's where those 15-minute walks come back into play. When you pair better food choices with a daily walk, you're not just avoiding harm, you're actively rebuilding your health. Walking helps your body process the nutrients you eat more efficiently. It improves insulin sensitivity, which means your body handles sugar better. It boosts circulation, which delivers oxygen and nutrients to your muscles and brain. And it releases endorphins, which lift your mood and make you feel more alive. A 2020 study from the American Heart Association found that older adults who walked just 15 minutes a day had a 15% lower risk of depression and anxiety. That's powerful medicine, and it's free. Let's talk about one more food that might be sneaking into your diet: low-fat dairy. For years, we were told to choose low-fat milk, cheese, and yogurt to protect our hearts. But what most people don't know is that when fat is removed from dairy, it's often replaced with sugars or thickeners to make it taste good. Those additives can mess with your blood sugar and gut health, which are already more delicate after 60. Plus, the healthy fats in full-fat dairy, like those in Greek yogurt or aged cheese, actually support brain health and keep you satisfied longer. A 2022 study from the University of Copenhagen found that moderate amounts of full-fat dairy were linked to lower risks of heart disease in older adults compared to low-fat options. It's a reminder that sometimes the however healthy advice we followed for years isn't what our bodies need now. As we wrap up this part, I want you to feel hopeful. You're not stuck. You're not too old to change. You're just learning what really works for your body at this stage of life. The foods we've talked about, processed carbs, hidden sugars, vegetable oils, low-fat dairy, are things you can rethink with small, doable steps. And when you combine those steps with a 15-minute walk each day, You're giving your body the tools it needs to thrive. In the next part, we'll pull it all together with practical tips and a plan to make these changes feel easy and sustainable. You're on this journey with me, and I'm so excited to see where it takes you. Stay tuned. You've made it this far, and I'm so proud of you for sticking with me on this journey. We've been uncovering the hidden ways that everyday foods can either hold you back or lift you up as you age. We've talked about how things like processed carbs, hidden sugars, and certain oils can quietly fuel inflammation, sap your energy, and speed up aging. But more importantly, we've seen how small, intentional choices, like swapping out a few foods and adding a 15-minute walk to your day, can transform how you feel. Your body isn't done with you yet. It's ready to thrive, and today, we're going to pull it all together with practical steps to make this feel not just doable, but exciting. You're not just watching a video, you're stepping into a new way of living, one that's full of vitality and possibility. Let's start by imagining your day. You wake up maybe a little stiff, but instead of reaching for that bowl of cereal or toast, you choose something that sets you up for energy and clarity. Think about a breakfast of eggs scrambled with spinach and a slice of avocado. It's simple, satisfying, and packed with nutrients that support your muscles, brain, and heart. A 2023 study from Stanford University found that starting your day with a protein-rich meal can improve energy levels and reduce cravings for sugary snacks later on. That's a small shift that can change the entire tone of your day. And here's the thing. It's not about perfection. It's about making choices that love your body back. I had a patient named Clara, a 70-year-old grandmother who was struggling with high blood pressure and constant fatigue. She told me, "Dr. Shimizu, I don't have the energy to cook fancy meals, and I'm not sure where to start." Clara's story is so relatable. Life gets busy, and after years of cooking for others, it's easy to fall into habits that feel convenient but aren't serving you. So, we started small. Instead of her usual instant oatmeal packets, which were loaded with sugar, she tried overnight oats, made with plain rolled oats, unsweetened almond milk, and a sprinkle of chia seeds and berries. She kept her coffee. She loved it too much to give it up, but we swapped her sugary creamer for a splash of whole milk. For lunch, she moved away from processed deli meats and started making simple salads with grilled chicken, olive oil, and a handful of nuts for crunch. These weren't big changes, but within a few weeks, Clara's blood pressure was down, and she was sleeping better. She even started taking 15-minute walks around her neighborhood, waving to her neighbors and feeling more connected to her community. What Clara learned, and what I want you to know, is that you don't need to overhaul your life overnight. It's about starting where you are and making one or two choices that feel manageable. Let's talk about dinner, because this is where a lot of us can make a big impact. If you're used to meals centered around pasta, rice, or bread, try shifting the focus to vegetables and protein. Picture a plate of roasted salmon with a side of broccoli drizzled with olive oil and a sprinkle of herbs. It's not just delicious, it's medicine for your body. A 2021 study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that diets rich in colorful vegetables and healthy fats like those found in fish and olive oil can reduce the risk of heart disease by up to 25% in older adults. And those vegetables? They're packed with antioxidants that fight inflammation and keep your cells healthy. But what most people don't know is that how you eat is just as important as what you eat. After 60, your digestion isn't as robust as it used to be. Eating large meals late at night can stress your system and disrupt your sleep. Try eating your bigger meals earlier in the day and keeping dinner light. And here is a tip that has been a game changer for my patients. Chew slowly and savor your food. It sounds simple, but it helps your body absorb nutrients better and prevents that heavy, bloated feeling. Clara started eating her meals at her kitchen table instead of in front of the TV, and she told me it felt like a gift to herself. It's these little moments of mindfulness that add up to big changes. Now let's bring it back to those 15-minute walks. They're not just about exercise, they're about giving your body a chance to reset. When you walk, you're improving blood flow, which helps your heart and brain. You're strengthening your bones and muscles, which keeps you independent. And you're giving yourself a moment to breathe, to notice the world around you, to feel alive. A 2022 study from the University of Oxford found that regular walking, even just 15 minutes a day, can lower the risk of cognitive decline by 18% in people over 60. That's your brain staying sharp, your memories staying clear, and your spirit staying bright. Here's where it gets personal. I want you to think about one thing you love about your life right now. Maybe it's spending time with your grandkids, gardening, or just sitting on your porch with a cup of tea. Whatever it is, your health is what makes those moments possible. Every choice you make, every bite you take, every step you walk is a chance to protect that joy. You're not too old to change. You're just learning what really works for your body at this stage of life. And it's exactly these small, conscious choices that can transform how you feel. So here's your plan. Start with one meal a day. Maybe it's breakfast. Swap out the cereal for eggs or plain Greek yogurt with nuts and berries. Or maybe it's dinner. Try a plate of grilled fish and vegetables instead of pasta. Then, carve out 15 minutes to walk. It could be around your block, in a park, or even in your backyard. Just move, breathe, and let your body thank you. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. And every step you take, every bite you choose is a step toward a stronger, more vibrant you. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. You have the power to shape how you age. Your body is still capable of incredible things. It's not about living forever, it's about living well, with energy, clarity, and joy. You're not just surviving your 60s, 70s, or beyond. You're thriving. And I'm here, cheering you on, every step of the way. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me one health challenge you're facing right now. It could be fatigue, joint pain, or just feeling like you're not sure where to start. Your comment might inspire our next video, so don't hold back. Share your story, connect with others, and let's keep this journey going together. You've got this, and I can't wait to see what's next for you.